Perfect. Excellent. Well, thanks, Yana, for allowing us to present in this venue. It's really good to be here with all these traders. I see we have a really large crowd in here. That's nice. For those of you that have actually stuck around for this entire event, my hat goes off to you guys, because if you're trading throughout the day and doing this stuff, you know, your minds must be absorbing a lot. But as Yana said, I hope you guys are learning a lot. It's great to be here with a lot of other presenters that have high levels of experience and information to share. So before we get started, we do have Daniel Rowe. He's going to be tag teaming the presentation with us today. He's a systems specialist and a mastery mind within our community for Bloodhound. And we've got Zach White, who's our product specialist, Keith Wolf, who's our tech support with the product specialist side, and myself, Director of Business Development with SharkIndicators. As Yana mentioned, Daniel and I both are traders. We're in the markets daily, so definitely have some perspective with both the system development side as well as, you know, the actual trading component. So before I go into the presentation, I just want to ask a question to all of the audience, and I would really kindly ask that you do participate in answering this question, because when you guys are attending all of these webinars and you're in all these different trading rooms and you hear a lot of presentations, there's a lot of really valuable stuff out there, guys, and there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. But the same question keeps coming into everyone's mind, and I see it in the chat boxes from time in and time again. How do we know it works? Is there performance metrics to these strategies? Can you prove some results? Can you give us some type of validation to, you know, the number of trades or the win-loss numbers or the profit factors? And really what you guys are asking is how do we discover a profitable strategy, right? I mean, that's essentially what you guys are looking for. And if you guys can agree with us, please just type a Y in the chat box, because I'd really like to know if you guys are on board with learning how to build profitable trading systems or learn how to develop or prove a strategy, because this is what we're here to talk to you guys about. Absolutely. Okay, perfect. So we're going to be discussing how to build, how to test, and how to apply and deploy a proven system, okay? And in order to do that, the first thing we're going to talk about is essentially how you guys can succeed as winning traders. We like to take a positive approach towards looking at learning how to trade. There's too much negativity, and I think that everybody has the potential to become a winning trader. So it's our job to provide you with the resources so that you can validate that for yourselves, okay? The next component is how we're going to actually use a scientific approach to be able to become a winning trader, because we have a trifecta that we follow within our community of traders that allow you guys to come in and learn how to build and test and actually apply trading systems and strategies. I'm then going to pass it over to Daniel, and he's actually going to walk you through a demo of our flagship product known as Bloodhound. He's going to show it to you in action. He's actually going to build a trading system from scratch, and he's going to show you how to back test it, and he's going to show you how everything works. And it's really going to blow your guys' minds, because there's nothing like this in the industry, which is probably why you're hearing a lot of questions about whether or not indicators and stuff can be used with our software. We're going to show you why, okay? And essentially, we're going to end with talking about the Bloodhound advantage for both traders and programmers or developers. Now, just a quick question. If you guys have programming experience, or if you guys are developers, can you just type a P in the chat box? And if you're a trader, just type a T, so I can kind of gauge if we have a mix of traders and programmers in here, or if it's just mainly traders. Yeah, I'm kind of getting both. Yeah, absolutely. So this is really going to be great for everyone here, because we're going to be able to discuss how this can really benefit everyone, not just a trader and not just programmers. It's really going to be able to help all of you guys. So the question is that how do we succeed, right? And how to succeed as a winning trader is essentially what we're trying to accomplish. And when you're trying to succeed as a trader, we need to look at having an accurate and profitable approach to the markets. Now, it doesn't matter what market you trade, if it's stocks or futures or Forex, but what we need to be asking ourselves is how can we use software to enhance the process? How do we shorten the learning curve, and how do we make it more feasible for us to obtain results, right? We're able to look at becoming a successful trader because we're able to create strategies and filters and different rule sets to be able to apply whenever we look at making a trade into any market. And essentially, by using software, we can attain accurate, profitable systems by having the right weapon to essentially, use in any market, whether it's dynamic or if it's a static market, whether it's trending or if it's oscillating. I mean, you name it. If you have the right tools for the job, you can develop and you can provide yourselves with accurate information to execute efficiently and make money. Okay, so how to succeed as a good trader? Well, successful traders, professional traders, they validate their strategies before ever trading live money. Okay, now kind of goes hand in hand with some of the questions I was seeing coming into the chat box earlier. Is, you know, how do you have any metrics to prove your system, or do you have any type of you know, results for your students or anything like that? And I think that those are really valid questions, but what's more important is how can we prove it for ourselves, right? That's, I mean, as a trader, that's what's important to me, is proving what I have works every day, so I can get up and I can consistently believe in what I'm doing. Professional traders will do back testing. They'll do a walk forward test. And for some of you that don't know what these terms are, back testing is where we test over historical data. Walk forward testing is where we go into, you know, current data and we run our systems forward, either in market replay or simulation accounts, which is highly recommended. And then you compare those results, right? Because what happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen now or even moving forward into the markets. And this is what we do to validate, right? Because that's how we can succeed as a trader, is to be able to do this type of analysis. And it doesn't have to be hard, because essentially what we're doing is we're trying to establish a proven methodology, right? I'm going to ask a question here, and I really need you guys to be honest with me. How many of you guys can relate to how the hardest thing as a trader is second guessing when you get into a trade? I mean, everybody wants to know whether or not they're going to actually make money on the trade. I mean, and that's that emotional component. I mean, for me, I've been trading for over 6 years, and the hardest part for me when I started was second guessing whether or not it's going to make me money, or whether or not I trust my approach, or, you know, that can be a very painful process, right? Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to establish a proven methodology so you can avoid second guessing, third guessing, fourth guessing, as some of the people are putting in the chat box, right? You need to have a trust in your approach, right? The biggest thing is trusting your strategy so that you can actually deploy it and press the button and believe in the fact that it's actually going to do well for you. And what this essentially does is instills real confidence, which I think every one of you guys has the potential to actually become consistently profitable traders. I truly believe that the statistics, you know, everybody, 90% of traders fail. I think that's just a thing in the media that people get scared about because they hear it over and over again. The problem is not that you don't have the opportunity, it's just you're not really showing the right things to do so that you can prove your strategies, okay? So let's carry on and let's discuss this. As a trader, we need to ask ourselves this question: how do you know what you have works, right? Because if you don't know what you have works, why would we ever want to put our money at risk, especially when we've either worked our whole lives to save up for it, whether we've essentially you know, been, you know, saving to trade, and you're basically building up a small nest egg. And if we have that capital, we don't want to risk it without knowing what we have is actually going to make us money, okay? So in order to do this, whenever we build strategies inside our network of traders, and whenever Daniel deploys them with customers or trading educators, we actually work with several trading educators that run very large trading rooms and some corporate clients and so forth. But the same approach is still the same approach. We follow a trifecta because we want to have a method for us to prove what we have actually works. Now, the creation phase is the real fun part, right? Because that's where we all get to take our ideas, right? We have all these indicators, we have you know, these time frames and the markets, you know, whether you're trading stocks or futures or Forex, and you have a trend trading strategy or a breakout strategy or a scalp or anything like that. And that's the fun part, because we get to go to the drawing board and say, okay, I have all these ideas, let's turn it into a strategy and see if it actually works. Let's see if it's going to make me money, right? And that can be very exciting, right? Because sometimes you come up with some really good strategies that prove to be really profitable, right? But in order to be profitable, we need to test it first. And the testing phase is essentially where we do the back tests and we do the walk forward tests. And the testing phase is where a lot of traders get lost because it actually means they have to do a little bit of work to prove what they're going to be doing is going to make them money. Well, I'm going to actually show you a way today that it doesn't have to be hard for you guys to do this. In fact, it can be very, very quick so that you can, spend more time building and deploying rather than spending time testing, because we can have those types of solutions for you guys. Now, once you've proven your systems and you've built the strategy and you tested it, and it's actually showing you that, hey, this is actually going to make me some money here. I'm really looking forward to trading this. Then you can deploy it. You can apply it into the markets either in a sim account, or then once you've seen it, operating in real time, you could trade it live and then scale your size depending on your risk management model, right? So this is the scientific approach, because if you think about it from a scientific way, when a scientist proves a hypothesis, they go through a series of testing to be able to validate whether that hypothesis is true or not. Well, with trading, if we take a strategy and we follow the same approach, we can become a professional trader, and you can answer that question, I know what I have is actually going to work for me. Okay, so let's go into the backtesting component, because I don't know if any of you guys have ever done this. I know Daniel and I have done this, and my mentors years ago used to do this all the time. We used to mark up charts, and we used to check out all the indicators, and we would look at the, numerous days and weeks of data, and we would say, okay, I would have taken a trade here, or I would have cherry picked a trade there, and if I would have only got my entry here and put my stop there, this would have made me money this time. And it's just a bunch of noise, right? And the fun part about it is that we all have done it. And for anybody that's been trading for a bit or tried trading, if you've tested anything, this is really the noise of backtesting. And marking it in a spreadsheet becomes extremely tedious and a very long, drawn-out process, right? But it doesn't have to be that way anymore, because what we're going to show you in this very soon-to-come demo, when Daniel takes over the presentation, is that backtesting can be very easy for you guys, especially after you've built a strategy in next to no time, okay? Now, what you're seeing on the chart, or on the left-hand side of this slide, is a Bloodhound template. This is a picture of crude oil. The markets doesn't matter, whatever it was. It could be the euro or gold or the S&P. But this chart is actually a couple lines on the chart is red and green. And there's a couple indicators there, I believe a moving average and a stochastics and a MACD histogram. And the red lines on the chart are representing short signals, and the green lines are representing signals. Pretty straightforward. But what it's doing is it's looking at a whole bunch of different indicators, and it's aligning them all at the same time to create entry and exit signals for the market that it's applied to. And this type of system, it can be built in a matter of a few minutes, and all you have to do is run a backtest. You just click the button and you run the backtest within the platform NinjaTrader, which our product has been designed for. And we're going to show you how to do that in just a moment. But there's no more marking up your charts. There's no more spending a whole bunch of time building systems and then having no way to prove them or to trade them. And what we're going to do here is we're going to show you a really fast and efficient way to be able to create strategies, test them, and then trade them. Okay. So I think I've done my job here to kind of give us a preamble. Thanks for the audience being very responsive. I really appreciate when you guys participate, because it lets me know you guys are here and you guys are seeing what we're doing. Daniel Rowe, just to kind of give him a brief intro, he started as a trader, just like each and every one of you guys, started using our software, and it literally changed his life immediately. And he decided it was in his blood to go to the next level, and he became a mastery user of our software, and he's literally generated a business around helping traders build strategies using it. He's exceptional at creating systems with it. He's going to be able to show you in a very short period of time how to build and test them. And I'm really, really grateful that he's actually here to present this stuff to me, because you guys are in for a good treat. So I'll carry on after you're finished, Daniel, and I'll let you take it away, buddy.
Yeah, I guess it would help if I turn the mic on. All right, sorry guys. Can everyone hear me now? Just give me a Y if I'm coming through loud. Okay, excellent. 2, 3. Let me show my monitor now. Are you seeing the charts? Okay, beautiful. Well, I think it's just great that TradingPub puts on events like this, because we've had some really great presentations so far today from several very knowledgeable traders and educators, and I hope you all are getting a lot out of it. There really are just so many different trading styles and methods that you can trade with. And naturally, I know that I have, but throughout the trading journey, we end up learning and implementing so many different types of systems, and basically until we find something that actually works for us as an individual. And trading systems, they do tend to be a very personal thing. And as you get better at this, you'll see that your own unique approach will begin to emerge. And it's really at that point that you'll begin to see your results improve. And that's really what we're all about, is helping you define, test, and refine your own trading systems and methodologies. And if you're not quite sure how to go about doing that, I can personally help you, like Sean had mentioned, to get started with several different systems that I've created that we can use as a kind of base that will then custom tailor to your specific needs, thereby getting you up and running quickly and affordably. Sean will tell you a little bit more about this at the end. We're actually running a really incredible promo for this event. So, do be sure and stick around so that you can benefit from that. So the reason that I'm here and presenting to you today with my friends from Bloodhound is because this program, like Sean said, it's just totally revolutionized the way that I understand and trade the markets. And I truly believe this is the most important tool that retail traders like us can have in our toolbox. I mean, I really am Bloodhound's biggest fan. I used to be a terribly frustrated trader. I had bought all of these different commercially available systems, but I just kept struggling to stick to the rules. I would become too emotional. I would end up over trading half the time, while waiting for the next setup. Impatient as I am, I would end up jumping in and out at least a couple of times a day. And by the end of the month, I was consistently down because I simply could not follow the rules 100% of the time. Um, I had what I thought were really good trade types because I would manually backtest those ideas. But as Sean mentioned, doing manual backtests is an incredibly tedious and time consuming process. I mean, how many of you guys know what I'm talking about? Where you're sitting there, you're marking up all of the bars on the charts, where your entry and exit rules lined up, totaling up all of the trades to see how much you would have made or lost. It takes at least an hour to get through one day, right, for intraday trading. I mean, I would spend days doing this, and I assure you, it takes such a long time. I looked into automating my ideas, but I didn't want to pay over 10 grand to have them programmed. And I sure didn't want to spend the next 5 years learning computer coding myself. So I was searching for a way to better do this, and that's when I found Bloodhound. And like I said, it's totally revolutionized the way that I trade. It is by far the fastest and most powerful way for average traders and investors like us, to build, test, and then automate our trading ideas. For example, I'm going to build a very, very simple signal so that you can really understand just what this program is all about and what it enables you to do. I'm actually going to start off with something very simple and then move into more complex systems as we progress through this. But I really want to take the time right now to make sure that you fully understand what this program is all about. And that's what we're going to do right now. So we're looking at a very, very fast chart because we're actually going to put this in motion. And I want you to see how this handles the order management. It's really quite a piece of work here. We're looking at a 2-period SMA crossing this red 10-period SMA. I know this is probably very basic for a lot of you guys, but bear with me. I want to, like I said, start off simple and then move to complex because I really want you to fully understand what's going on here. So I'm going to add Bloodhound. It's under SI Bloodhound. And then we're going to build a very simple little template. So you see when I add Bloodhound, you have up here at the top, empty template. I'm going to open that. This is the Bloodhound user interface. All right, I'm going to select the logic board and click on new to start a new logic board. I'm going to go ahead and name this the entry. Now you can see we have solver nodes, function nodes, logic nodes. There's plenty of documentation and videos on the website and YouTube that explains all of this. Just know that the solvers allow you to perform, multiple different types of conditions, anything you could possibly think of, and the level of complexity that can be achieved with this is really extraordinary. Right now, we're just going to use a simple crossover solver. We're going to look at, like I said, the 2 and the 10 SMA. You can see that default, it comes set to a SMA 14. Just keeps opening up on the bottom window. I'm going to set this to a 2. for indicator A, and you can see it update in real time. I mean, that's pretty spectacular in and of itself. You know, there's no compiling. You don't have to program code. You just plug it in and it spits it out. Okay, so for indicator B, we're going to set this to a 10. There we are. And you can see it change in real time. So that's pretty cool. Let's say, let me just name this. Let's say that we wanted to add a slope solver. Say we want to add the slope of this 10 period, this red line. So we'll just add the slope solver. Let me connect it by itself first. Right now it's looking at the SMA 14. We're going to change that now to a 10. Excuse me. There we are. Okay, so that's SMA 10 slope. And what we want to do is we want to connect both of these together so that we're only going to take the crossovers that are in line with the slope of the 10 moving average. Okay, so we want to connect both of these together with the AND logic because we want both to be true at the same time. And there you can see it. So we're only going to get a long signal when the SMA 10 is actually sloping up. Okay, and it's that simple. That's it. I mean, we can go as complex as you want. Basically, anything that you can show me on a chart, I can build in Bloodhound. So there's really very, very few limitations. It's obviously not going to do mathematical calculations for you, but you can always build the indicators that you need, and I'll show you a little bit more about that in a moment. Because there is one instance where you would need a specific indicator for looking at volume, and I'll show you that. But so let's save this. We're going to call it you can see I've built thousands of templates here. We're going to call this the 210 cross slope. Okay, now what I'm going to do is this. So this is Bloodhound, the indicator. All right, that's what we use to build the condition. Okay, I'm going to take that off. Now I'm going to add the strategy component, which is SI Raven. Okay, so this is what actually handles the orders and enters the market for you automatically when the rules have been met. Okay, so we add in our template here, which I've already done. Excuse me. And then select our entry. We're going to use a profit target with ticks. Pardon me, my allergies are out of control today. So a profit target of 5 ticks, a stop loss of 5 ticks. And I'm going to enable that now. And you'll see when I do that, we have this chart trader on the right. Okay, so this has replaced NinjaTrader's chart trader. I think this is just incredible what this allows you to do. We can actually manually enter orders while we have a strategy enabled. Okay, so let's say I'm going to just start running this market replay. Let's say, we're getting into a news event and we want to turn it off because we're about to get a very fast knee-jerk reaction. So we can just turn it off like that. Then when we get through the news event or whatever, or into better conditions, we're out of a trading range or whatnot, then we can turn it back on. Okay, well, while it's on, we can even enter trades manually. And then we can close it. All right, I'll let it enter one automatically now. Speed it up a little bit. Okay, and you can see right there. And this is a huge problem. I don't know if any of you have, have had any experience with getting your systems actually programmed and automated, but there seems to be a recurring issue with people that I've talked to. They get a system back, they have to send it back because there's always bugs. It's a long process, at least 3 to 5 months, mostly 7 months. And then by the time they get the finished product, when it's entering the orders, they have all of these exceptions that get thrown. You have things such as overfills, rejected orders, split fills, all of these different things that are very difficult to address. I mean, they're very hard, very difficult programming feats to get through all these things. Well, all of that stuff has been addressed in Raven. And like I was talking to one guy the other day, he's like, I spent all this money, thousands and thousands of dollars, and by the end of it, I don't even have anything that I can use because I can't trust it because it's not even entering the market correctly the way it's supposed to be. Sometimes it will enter, sometimes it won't. Most of the time I just get errors. All of that stuff has been addressed in Raven. So you can see this is one instance where you get split fills, because obviously, it's not always going to be that if you're trading multiple contracts that you get filled at one price, okay? So this handles that, handles split fills, rejected orders, all these different things. I think it was something over 7.5 months, 7 to 9 months in the making of just the order handling stuff, which is incredibly robust, and that alone I think is priceless compared to a lot of the issues that I've heard people having to deal with. I mean, you're not going to have to deal with any of those issues with this. So I think that's pretty cool. You can close it out. You can go short manually. You can manually manage these trades even with entering automatically. And that's another thing. A lot of people may not, some people are kind of leery about fully automated systems and leaving them on and setting and forgetting. Some people want that, but most people realize that, hey, that's kind of dangerous. So they want to be able to manage these trades on their own. So you can use Bloodhound to semi-automate, automate the entry, and then you can manage, you can trail your stops manually, you can move your targets, whatever you have to do to manage that trade manually. And you can use the ATM. You can use NinjaTrader's ATM, advanced trading management. So all these different things that you can do with this program. So I think it's really, really cool. Now I'm going to move in a little bit more complex. This is still quite simple, but this is the system that we're looking at. Now, hang on one second. Okay. So these are the conditions that we're looking for. We're looking to sell short when the closing price of the bar crosses below this SMA 30, and the stochastics crosses below 75, and the MACD crosses below the 0 line, and then vice versa for long, except for the stochastics, it would have to cross above the 25 line. Okay, so let me show you how we would build this. I'm not going to build it from scratch because, we don't have that much time. I'd like to show you all kinds of stuff, but we just don't have that much time here. So let me show you the logic. It's really quite simple. I probably could do it in less than a minute and a half, but this solver is looking at the closing price versus the SMA 30, showing you when it crosses below, when it crosses above. Okay, these two, and these are all crossover solvers. These two are looking at the stochastics condition. So when it crosses below 75, and then when it crosses above 25. And then finally, this one is looking at the MACD, the histogram, when it crosses above 0, and then when it crosses below 0. Right? And we add all of those together with the AND logic, and it spits out that red line and that green line, and those are the bars on which all of our conditions have been met. And I put this quote up here for you guys because this is, as traders, this is something you really, this is true for so many different things in life, but in trading, this is something you have to live by. I know a lot of people, I was guilty of this, just wishful thinking, buying a system and learning all these rules and then automatically assuming that, well, since it's being sold, it must work, and never actually testing the stuff. So, I mean, we need to test these things because we're putting money on the line. It's just something you have to do. And if you're not doing it, then you need to start doing it. Bloodhound makes that process so much easier. It's incredible. So you can see that we've, imagine we just built this from scratch. It literally would take about a minute and a half for me to do that. We're going to plug it now into NinjaTrader's Strategy Analyzer. And you can see I've already got it in here. We're going to look at, what's that, 3.5 years, starting January 1st, 2011. We're going to use an ATR for the stop and the target, 8 times the average true range. We're going to let it stop and reverse. And I'm even going to use 3 ticks of slippage to make it more accurate. So let's run that back test on this basket of instruments here, these futures contracts. and it's on a daily chart, obviously. Okay, so you can see about 200, oh no, that's just one. Here's the combined results. Okay, sorry. Yeah, about 200K for the past 3.5 years on all of these. And you can see that most of our profits were actually made on about half of the markets. That can be typical of different trading strategies. So, what would that be worth to you? If you could get the same results in the next 3.5 years, what would something like this be worth to you? I mean, I can imagine what, it would be worth to me. I know what it's worth to me. It's priceless. So you can see how easy that is. We build it, we test it, and then we can then forward test it and then automate it. Okay, so I want to show you now that I've shown you this basic system. This is one that I've built, and it's for crude oil on a daily chart. This is actually something I'm going to be implementing now. It's been in the works for quite some time. It's really very simple. I'll let you get a look at the logic here. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's really quite simple. I can write it on the back of a napkin. And Larry Williams talks about that. He said, if you cannot write the rules to your system on the back of a napkin, then it's probably curve fitted with too many rules. And this, I assure you, is not, we can't over optimize with Bloodhound, which technically is a limitation, but it's a limitation that works in your favor. You can't over curve fit and optimize, to the point of having something that is never going to test in reality like it tests backwards. So this is something that is, I could expect to get similar results, and you can see some of the trades. So very good trades. I'll just show you the strategy performance here. Nothing incredible. Okay, 53K in what, 5 years. That's not spectacular, but look at how little time you're actually in the market. With that other strategy, it's kind of a stop and reverse. Sometimes you've got, 8 times the average true range for risk. It's a very, very risky system. This is only, risking 2 times the average true range on each trade, and then 3 times for the profit target. So you're in the market very little time, okay, with a very high profit factor. So this is actually a decent system that was built with Bloodhound, which is really, really cool. Now I want to show you an intraday system. All right, this is one that I built recently, and the concept is very simple. It was kind of hard to figure out the pattern that I was looking for. It has to do with price action, but it's essentially looking at a volume spike with a particular kind of price action pattern. All right, so you can see the trades this thing takes. Now, of course, I'm only using the regular trading hours because I'm looking for a spike in volume. It's not going to work correctly in the overnight. And I'll just show you the back testing results from this for the past 30 days on a minute TF chart. 10K, 1.7 profit factor, 57%. Okay, but, and this is a question you always need to ask. See, I do have commission here, but I haven't factored in slippage. And of course, on an intraday system, you want to factor in slippage. And you want to always make sure that any results that you see have that factored in. Okay, so let me do that now. I'll even put in 2 ticks because you're not going to have more than 2 on average. It'll probably be about 1.3 or something with the TF in a live situation. So now, even with the worst possible fills, we'll see what kind of results we could expect from this. And of course, if you were to manage these trades on your own, rather than letting the system manage the trades, because that's the thing, the entry is accurate, but it's the exit that needs work. And of course, if you can manage this thing on your own, you can increase these results dramatically. But 6,300 in 30 days with 130 trades, $650 commission, I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. All right, so now let's show you this. And this is a really cool feature. I use Bloodhound like this extensively, and that is using Bloodhound in the market analyzer. So what I've done is I've built a divergence template here, and divergence is one of the harder things to program. So this is just a picture of it. It's actually not that, I know it can be a programmer's nightmare to get divergence just right. But what I've done here is essentially I'm looking at divergence, and because it's so hard and so difficult, I decided to every person that's attending today, I'm going to give you access to this for free. So just engage with us, and I'll make sure that you get a copy of this because it is, it's a proven method. It's something that a lot of people use. Of course, every signal isn't going to be perfect, but well, let me just show you some of the signals now since I have it up here. But I was showing you this now because that's what I have inside of Market Analyzer. But since I have it up, I may as well show you some of the signals. So this would be a signal from when, just a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. Let's see, this is from, yeah, about a week ago. It's about a week ago. I think I took some today. This is from crude on a 3-minute. You can see the divergence, right, between RSI and price. RSI is making a higher low, price is making a lower low. That's what this is all about. If you're not familiar with this concept, this is a widely taught and used concept for finding, turning points when momentum is waning. These are another couple of signals, and that's a volume divergence signal. So this is what I'm looking at inside, and then the volume spike that I'm looking at on the chart is what I'm looking at in the market analyzer on the right. So what you can do is you can use the market analyzer now, rather than being limited. You can see the divergence signal coming off right there. So you can, rather than being limited to just these few conditions that you can do, you can add in an indicator and just do very basic conditions. We can now add in Bloodhound and then build these incredibly complex conditions and use Ninja's Market Analyzer that way. So I think that's just a huge feature. It enables you to watch multiple markets, multiple time frames, so that you can, essentially it's like having 4 or 5 traders working in tandem with you and notifying you when a particular trade is about to set up. And then when the alert goes off, you bring up that market and then decide whether you want to take that next setup or not. So let's see, I was hoping to get a couple of these fire off here. It's using a 1-minute chart. But that's essentially how the market analyzer works. There you go, you get a volume spike right there, bearish volume spike. So I would then bring up silver and then do my other discretionary methods, whether you use trend lines or trend channels or Fibonacci stuff or whatever, and then just decide whether I want to take that next setup. Okay. And this would be one of the other discretionary methods that I actually use, and that's, you can see the trend channel here. So this is volume divergence. This is one of the more complex things that I've done. I have shown this in the past, but I think a lot of people's eyes just kind of glaze over when I go into this stuff. It's a little bit too advanced, I think. But very, very interesting signals. This is just from the other day, or from the day I'm actually showing on the replay. And then this. I know a lot of you guys trade like this with a trend trade, right? So I've designed, I don't know, probably 20 or 30 different types of trend trades. This is a very common one. With this, you would obviously get this. I created this MACD BB line to show the bar on which it breaks above the lower band, and then the bar on which it actually breaks back inside the band as well to paint the paint bar. So that's a very interesting system. I know a lot of guys trade outs. This is using a Donchian breakout. Very interesting. This is using a super trend breakout. So across the methods that we can use, I mean, you're either a momentum trader, counter trend trader, a trend trader, a range trader, and that's another thing. Here's a range break as a system that we built actually in one of the weekly webinars that we put on, and we teach different systems and whatnot. So this is one that you'll get. when you engage with us for free. I've seen people sell this for over $1,000. So, I mean, that's a tremendous added value there. And so, yeah, that's a good summary, I think. With that, I'm going to let Sean tell you a little bit more about the promo that we're running. And yeah, so just take it away, Sean. I'm going to shut it down here.
Okay, thanks, Daniel. Excuse me. I just want to make sure you guys can actually hear my voice and you guys can see the PowerPoint again. I know we had to, there's some technical stuff going on before with other presenters, and I just want to make sure we don't lose any of you guys. Excellent. You know, thanks, Daniel, for doing the demo. You know, sometimes, you know, this is always a big question that we always ask ourselves when we talk amongst our company and we talk with other traders is are we losing anybody in the presentations because some things seem a little bit more complex than they're maybe used to? And my answer to this is it's as complex as you make it, okay? Because trading, to me, as a trader, I like to make things as simple as I can, because it's hard enough to just get into the market and make money, never mind learning how to use a new piece of software or trying to learn a new strategy or anything like that. And the truth is, everything that we do in life comes with a bit of a learning curve, right? Whether we're learning a new sport or we're learning a new language or, you know, we're learning how to trade or we're learning how to communicate with our friends and family, everything is about learning. The nice thing is that we've actually spent months basically creating the training, and we've also spent a lot of time making sure that there's a very large support group for all of the people that use our software. We provide free workshops every Friday just on training on how to build different types of strategies. Daniel, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment, he provides very inexpensive services to help traders build their strategies. So if you have strategies that you want built and you just don't want to have the time to learn it right now, you just want to trade your stuff, we can put you in touch with the resources to actually you know, use our experience to help you get started, and then you'll have as much time as you need to use and to learn the things that we provide. So there should never be any type of intimidation, because we know, and all of our users know, as well as our partners and other traders know, that our software is the most simplistic and sophisticated software in the industry that can allow you guys to do this type of stuff. So it's been designed to make it easy for you, okay? So let's discuss using Bloodhound for the scientific method. And we talked about creating and testing and applying the application of building strategies, right? The scientific approach. Well, the first thing we want to address is creating the strategies, okay? Within Bloodhound, we can actually build the entry and exit signals in literally minutes. If you have a rule, if this indicator is doing this and that indicator is doing that, or this time frame and this chart type, you think it, you can write it down on a piece of paper, you can build it. And you don't have to write any code. You never have to learn a new language of writing programming script or compiling or syntax errors or any of that noise that I don't know how to do because I'm not a programmer. I'm a trader. So I love this stuff because I don't have to learn how to be a programmer. We use fuzzy logic. And as Daniel explained to you guys, it's like connecting the dots, you know, kind of like Lego. You just put piece by piece together and you just connect them. And it makes them look really, really neat because you can visually see the system that you're building visually in front of you as the chart updates. So if the indicator didn't work properly, you can see the signal, either it's right or it's wrong, and you can change it on the fly without having to write a whole bunch of code. The next component is the testing component, right? We're going to use computers to do the work. And I showed you a slide earlier where there's no more marking up your charts and, you know, logging things in an Excel spreadsheet and going back and saying I could have done this or I should have done that to make that trade happen. We're going to do the back test. And you know what's really interesting is that I actually seen a couple comments in here earlier about how anybody can create a positive back test, and you're absolutely right. There's back testing alone is never going to validate something that's going to work all the time. You know, a proven back test just gives you enough attention to want to walk your strategy forward, to trade it in simulation. and and basically move it forward, right? Another thing too is you want to validate the performance over multiple markets, right? You want to be able to compare the results from your back test and your walk forward results, or if you use some form of strategy optimization, you want to be able to compare those results, okay, so that you can validate what you're doing. And then it's about trading it, right? We want to apply it. Bloodhound has no limits. And basically what you're able to do is you could decide, are you a discretionary trader? I know Daniel and myself, we're both discretionary traders, and we use Bloodhound for some forms of automation and for testing. But that's our style. We have a lot of traders that run fully automated trading rooms because that's their strategy. And it really has no boundaries. If you like fully automation, you could become a fully automated system builder or just have your strategy on autopilot. If you're the type that likes to manage the trades and being able to manage yourself, then that's perfect. But most importantly, all of the software has been designed to handle advanced trade management, and it reduces the emotional interference that we face as human beings. And let me ask this, if you guys could kind of engage with me here, how many of you guys feel that you have an emotional interference with your trading? Whether it's getting into the market or, managing the trades, right? Are you getting in too long? Or are you getting, or not long enough? Or are you getting out too soon? You move your stop too soon? Or how many of you guys can actually relate to this? And be honest with me, I'm a trader. I mean, one trader to the other here. Let's get real here. I mean, this is trading. We're in the markets for ourselves. The reason why I'm talking is because we can be our worst enemy, right? And that should not be our limitation, right? We should be able to make money every day and we trade. Not every day, but I mean, with a consistent approach, we should be able to consistently make money. And it's possible for every one of you guys to do this. And we have tools to be able to show you how to prove that, okay? So let's discuss the value of Bloodhound, okay? Because I'm going to ask you this question, and see, for me, I'm about keeping you guys on the seat of your chairs here, because trading to me is a way of life. All right, it's not a hobby for me. It's my business, and I would like to ask each and every one of you, why do you guys trade? How much is your time worth to you? Did you guys get into trading to supplement a second income? Did you guys get into trading to change your job or to live a better lifestyle? How many of you guys like to be able to work and work from anywhere in the world? Having that freedom where you're not tied down with a bricks and mortar job. I'm sure any of you guys can relate to this, and maybe if you guys could let me know why you guys decided to start trading. And if we can even go one level deeper, how much is your time worth to you? Because trading offers us the freedom to be able to do a lot of other things with less restrictions, right? As long as we can develop to that point in time where we can make, then we can enjoy the fruit of more time freedom, more travel time, more friends and family time, right? And essentially, that's why I got into trading, and what we need to do is we need to find a way to shorten the discovery process, whether it be discovering strategies or shorten the learning curve from being a profitable trader, right? Because if we can learn how to make things a lot faster and efficient for us, then we should be able to add value in our lives, right? So the biggest thing here is less time, less time in research and development and more time making money. Plain and simple, Don Carlson has it right, TJ is also correct. He's passionate about the money, right? John L says he's luring in easy money, turn out to be the hardest money to make. Yes, the dream, everybody says keep living the dream of making money. Well, guess what? There's a lot of money to be made, ladies and gentlemen. But the truth is that we need to prove it, and we need to validate it, and we need to find a way to become, like TJ saying, a jiu-jitsu ninja. Yes, absolutely. So, it's really important for us to look at, how much our time is worth to us, because Bloodhound will give you the ability to shorten your learning curve, less time in research and development, and give you the ability to actually, basically look at, life in a different angle with different ways to trade the markets, right? So let's talk about the Bloodhound advantage. And, the truth is here is if you're a developer, if you have programming experience, Bloodhound could be a serious advantage for you because you can extremely deploy your systems fast, right? You have extremely fast deployment of your strategies. You're also able to have, this software has been designed with you guys in mind. It's extendable and it's designed with programmers so that you guys can actually build into it. You can also concentrate on the strategy itself and not the plumbing. And for those of you guys that have ever done any code or you know, if you guys have ever written any script or anything like this, then you understand what this means. If you're using existing indicators, you actually that you built or you purchased or you've coded, you can use them with Bloodhound. And I think Yana mentioned earlier that we've had other people asking is can it be used with Bloodhound? We spend a lot of time checking out if your indicators are compatible from other vendors, and 95% of all indicators that you guys have out there can be used in Bloodhound. Okay, and it uses advanced order handling capabilities. And for those of you guys that have ever programmed a strategy, or if you guys have ever looked at building trading systems, the easy part of coding is putting the arrows up on the charts and putting little dots saying buy here, buy, sell there, right? That's the easy part of coding. The hard part is actually management. It's the actual utilizing advanced order handling that allows you to really take realistic components into the market and actually deploy them, right? So let's take a look at the trading aspect, because as I mentioned before, as a trader, I did not want to learn how to program my own code or, you know, create indicators or anything like that, because I just never had that availability to learn that skill set. And maybe someday I will, but I don't see it anytime soon, right? And if you guys are traders and you're saying, you know, this kind of looks a bit difficult, well, this is where we come into play. The reality is that we don't have to learn a new language, right? We don't have to do anything but be traders. And so what Bloodhound does for you guys is it empowers you guys to participate on a more professional level. And being a professional trader is really my goal as a trader. I can't say that it should be your goal, but I think that if we can be a good trader, the profits will follow, right? And that's something that my educator and mentor taught me years ago, is if we focus on the skill and using the right methodology, the profits will come, okay? So we can also build, test, and automate all of it without code. And I think I've gone over that a few times. If we look at how fast this is, most importantly, the user-friendly aspect. And I know I've seen a few comments earlier, and you know what? Bloodhound has been designed to be the most easiest way for you guys to do this type of stuff in the industry. So if you've ever thought of doing this, or you've ever wanted to pursue something like this, this is the only way that's going to give you the ability to do it very quick and efficiently, okay? The other component is it saves you a lot of time on development and costs, right? You don't have to go out and find a programmer and spend thousands of dollars that ends up becoming a nightmare experience, which we've all heard about. I think what we need to look at is, can we just look at building it real quickly, and can we do it with very little cost in our pockets? There is a way, okay? Most importantly, Bloodhound becomes a programmer in your back pocket for life. If you get up one morning and you want to build a strategy, guess what? You can just turn on your computer and build it, test it, and trade it. If you want to, you know, put a whole bunch of different stuff together, you can do that at any point in time. You don't have to look for the right help. You don't have to try and hire someone or anything. You can just have it right there for you guys, okay? So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to explain something real quickly. We are now in the industry considered the most cost-efficient, lowest-cost trading solution in the industry for traders for this type of applications and tools in the industry, which is one of the reasons why all the bigger trading rooms and stuff are actually, you know, contacting us, and we're working with them, which is really great for us because we get exposure to a lot of traders and we get to see a lot of trading systems and a lot of good people, and it really just becomes a really warm environment. Well, what we're going to do here is we're going to try and create a warm environment for you guys, because, you know, this trading industry is very expensive, and we believe in providing exceptional value for very low costs, okay? So what I'm about to tell you is that we have 3 different methods of versions of our software, right? We have a standard, we have a professional, and an ultimate. Now, we've done some tests with all of our clients, and we have a very, very large group of users. You know, 90 to 95% of all of our user base is an ultimate user. Now, I'm not saying that because you should just buy the ultimate. I'm saying that because the ultimate software version has no restrictions. You can build anything you can think of. Daniel mentioned earlier that if you can think it, he can build it. Well, that's the same for you guys. If you want no restrictions, if you want to be able to build any type of strategy without having any limitations, then the ultimate's the best thing to do. and it actually saves you money longer term because you won't have to pay any upgrade costs if you want it to go from, say, the standard to the ultimate or the professional to the ultimate. It ends up being the best value for you, okay? Now, with this being said, what we've done is we're doing a promotion for you guys because I'm a big component of giving things away for free. I think we all spend enough money on education and software in this industry. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to say to you guys, we have bar types on our website that we custom coded. Our product specialist Zach has written a couple bar types. One of them is the ultimate, is the SI Pro Renko bars, and the other one is a backtest Renko bar. And for those of you that are familiar with backtesting, Renko charts or brick bars, they don't give you the best read for price action because they actually modify it. So we've got bars that are coded to help you guys get more accurate backtest using custom bar types. And we're just going to give them to you for free. If you purchase an ultimate version of Bloodhound, what we will do is we will give you a $195 bar type absolutely free. The offer is only good until midnight tonight, Eastern time, so we still got just under 6 hours till this offer expires. But even more so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you one last promotion because Daniel actually is an outsourced consultant that we work with inside of SharkIndicators, and he works with a lot of trading educators and people just like you and me that are building systems, right? So what we're going to do here is Daniel's decided to do something. He normally doesn't do this type of stuff, but for this type of event, what we've done is he's literally given us the go-ahead to give you 30% off his starter package. And his starter package, what it does is it actually gives you, a blocked piece of time with him to go through Bloodhound. He's going to set it up on your computer. He's literally going to train you on the basics of how to get around and navigate and make sure you understand everything. And he's going to spend a little time on a strategy session with you, right? And what is that time worth to you guys? Because Daniel is a very advanced system builder, and he's literally going to spend a bit of time with you guys to look at your system and maybe build a system with you and basically go through it to train you guys, right? Now, as an added bonus, and I didn't even know he was going to do this. He actually just put this in here right before the presentation, but he's going to give you one of his powerful templates absolutely free if you guys decide to do this entire thing, right? If you guys purchase Bloodhound, if you do the Bloodhound ultimate purchase, I'll just give you the bar types, okay? That's $200 right there for free. Daniel's going to give you 30% off his starter package, but most importantly, he's going to give you his strategy templates in Bloodhound. And to be honest, I've never seen this before. He's never done this, so he kind of surprised me at the end of it. He must have updated the slides. But nonetheless, this is excellent because you guys are going to get your hands on the best stuff in the industry for very, very low cost. I know the guys have been kind of tag teaming the questions in the chat box, so let me just explain this real quickly. Bloodhound cost $495. If you click on the special event link there that's in the chat box, it'll take you to a landing page. That landing page is actually going to allow you to add the stuff to the cart, and all you have to do is click on the coupon code at the bottom, and it's going to give you the free bar type for free. Then what you can do is you can actually click on the link to Daniel's website at the bottom of that landing page, and what he'll do is you can book an appointment with him, or you can talk to him, and he can basically walk you through the starter package deal with you guys individually. Okay. Now, I know Yana, I mentioned that she would let me actually give you guys a link to register. We actually have another webinar that's coming up tomorrow, and essentially it's some of you guys that are looking for trading systems, right? You guys want to see this stuff in action. The nice thing is that what we've done today is we never really showed you a trading system. Okay, we never showed you stuff that's traded in the trading room. What we're doing today is to actually show you how to build systems, right? And we're actually showing you how that you guys can create and build your strategies, on your own and being able to vet your systems. So what we actually have tomorrow is a very special presentation. We're actually going to be showing a very large audience a full-blown trading system using Bloodhound on the auto traders in a webinar tomorrow. And I know, Yana, if you could give me the go-ahead, just type in the chat box if you allow me to be able to put that into the actual chat box. I'd like to be able to put the registration in here so that all the traders can actually come in and see a full-blown auto trading system in the webinar using Bloodhound, so that they can actually see a proven system trading this stuff, right? Because we're not teaching you guys a specific strategy today. What we're doing is we're actually showing you the means to build them and test them. But what we can do is we can actually give you guys a webinar link to register for tomorrow's webinar with us, and we can actually put you in touch with some some really experienced traders. And what we can do is we can actually get you guys in to see a really good exposure to that. So would you guys like to come to a trading webinar tomorrow and actually see a proven trading system that's essentially using Bloodhound, that's running the auto traders in his trading room Monday to Friday every day? If you guys would like that, just type a Y in the chat box so that I know that you guys are looking forward to something like that, because I don't really want to put the webinar in here if you guys aren't wanting to attend this stuff, because I mean, there's no sense of us doing that unless you guys are going to come. So let me just do this here. I'm just going to put that in the chat box. And let me just do this here. Okay, so this is a webinar. That's the go-to-meeting webinar, and essentially it's a trading system that we launched with Bloodhound, and essentially I've been watching this stuff in the trading room for the last several weeks. It's blowing me away. The results are just excellent, and the moderator in the trading room is great. So we're really glad to have the guy on board. So you definitely want to sign up for that. And I'll just post it in the chat box again here, so you guys can keep registering if you guys have access to that. But nonetheless, really good to be able to have you guys on board. Last but not least, what I would like to do is I'd like to mention, we thank you for your time, guys. We don't hide behind our website. If you pick up the phone and you call, you will talk to me directly. And if I don't answer, it's because I'm on another call with another client, but I will call you back. And Daniel Rowe will get in touch with you if you reach out to him. Zach White, who's a machine on our tech support with Keith, these guys are unstoppable. They help traders every day build their systems and send the tech information that they need. Really good team we got here to help you guys build your strategies. So what you can also do is, we have an algo course on our website, and we've designed it. It's free. It's designed to help you guys build systems without having to, kind of wonder what to do. And essentially what this is it's an algo course that the guys and I put together to be able to help you guys understand the components of that phase, the creation phase. If you just click that link there on our website, you can go to our website and just sign up for free. It's absolutely free. You just get put into a bunch of emails where you can get a bunch of cool videos. I actually walk you through how to build a couple different trading systems in there, back testing them and running them through market replay and so forth. So just some free tools for you guys to have and gain some value that way. But I think what we'll do is we'll turn it over. I've done enough talking for today. I think you guys have heard my voice and you get the vision. If you got questions, send us an email, give us a call, and we'd be glad to have you on board our team and building systems and trading live. So I think the guys have been going pretty good with the questions. If there's any other questions I didn't see come through, Daniel or Keith or Zach, really appreciate your time. Let's see here. Yeah, no problem, Keith. Appreciate you guys helping out. And if you guys have any other questions in the room, please feel free to ask them. I know there's some, there's a whole lot of different questions. There was questions coming from the programming side. There was questions coming from the beginner trading side. There's in-between questions. And you know what, guys? No question is a bad question. I think that everybody should have their questions answered. So if you guys would like the ability to have one-on-one time with any of us, just let us know. We get in touch with you. If you guys have stuff on your computers that you guys are using and you are basically using custom indicators, or you purchased someone else's system and you want to know if it's going to work with Bloodhound, just let us know. We can easily go on your computer and check compatibility. If not, I'd be more than happy to call the vendors and see if they'll open up the code so that we can make it work with our software. We work with a lot of other companies, so there should be no limitations for you guys to be able to come in and use this stuff. But nonetheless, give us a shout, and we really hope to see you guys in tomorrow's webinar. I really hope that you guys are looking forward to that. I know I'm looking forward to that. That's been something we've been putting on for a while. I'll just put that in the chat box again, so you guys have that. There's the webinar link for everybody who didn't get it before. That's tomorrow Eastern time at 4:30 p.m. You're definitely going to want to be there at that webinar. That's been a very, very key date for us. We've been planning that one for a while. We've got a ton of people registered for that event because it's been something that's been really, really looked at. So you definitely want to be at that event. That's exactly it. Perfect. Thanks, Yana. I really appreciate that. I think that's it. I mean, you know, we've got a few minutes left. I don't want to take too much time. You know, short and sweet. And hope you guys really enjoy the presentation. Thanks for your time, for everybody being here. Really know you guys, you know, go through a lot of these presentations, and I really hope you guys see some value here. But nonetheless, if you guys got any last-minute questions, put them in the chat box. If not, I'm going to pass it back over to Yana so she can get ready for the next presenter.